Day again, everybody. So delighted to see you all again. Our lesson today will be about prime and composite numbers. But before we start, here are a few division rules that will help us during this session. We call them divisibility rules. To be divisible by 2, we can use any even number. Any even number can be divided by 2. Which numbers can be divided by 3? If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, that number will be divisible by 3. Example, 2079. If you add the 2 plus the 0 plus the 7 plus the 9, you get 18. And we know 18 is divisible by 3. So the whole number 2079 can be divided by 3. A rule for 4. If the last 2 digits of a number is divisible by 4, that number will also be divisible by 4. Example, the number 7148, the last 2 digits, which is 48, is divisible by 4, so the 7148 is also divisible by 4. The rule for 5, if the last digit of a number is a 5, example 2135, 105, 35, that number can be divided by 5. The rule for 6, if the number can be divided by 3 and 2, that number is divisible by 6. Example, 4608, the number is even and is therefore divisible by 2, and is also divisible by 3 because if you add up the digits 1 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 0 plus 8, we get 24, and we know 24 can be divided by 3. The rule for 9. The rule for 9 is basically the same than the rule for 3, except that when we added the digits and it is divisible by 9, it's the rule for 9, remember? Then the number can also be divided by 9. For example, 6 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 give us 18, and 18 is divisible by 9, therefore that whole number is also divisible by 9. Now we still have to test for 7, but as I said, there are no rule for 7, so good luck, you're on your own. Just going to have to test them one by one. We also need to know what is a factor, because we will be mentioning the word factor later on. A factor is when a number can divide into another number and the remainder is 0, then it is a factor of that number. Examples, 10 can be 2 times 5, so 2 and 5 are factors of 10. 12, 2 times 6 is 12, so 2 and 6 are factors of 12. Or 12 can be 3 times 4, so 3 and 4 are also factors of 12. Now what is a prime number? A prime number is a number that can only be divided by itself or by 1. Example, 3, only 3 times 1. 7, only 7 times 1. 11, only 11 times 1. And so there are going to be quite a number of numbers that's going to have the same property. They do not have any other factors than itself and 1. What is a composite number? Basically just the opposite of a prime number. Composite number is a number that has other factors also than just 1 and itself. Example 10, which can be 2 times 5, or 22, which can be 2 times 11, etc. There is just one exception. The number 1 is neither a prime nor a composite number. Please remember that one. From time to time, you will get in exam paper a block like this, and they will ask you to write down the prime numbers in that block. And therefore we're going to use our divisibility rules to determine that. First of all, we said 1 is not a prime number. Remember that exception? So we can cross it out. Further, any number that is even, we can also cross out except 2 itself. Then we cross out all the even numbers. The next one, we're going to test first for 5 because it's very easy to determine divisibility by 5, because if it ends at 5, then that number can be divided by 5. Again, we just exclude 5 from scratching out. So to scratch out now all the numbers that's divisible by 5, the pink crosses cross them out. The next one we test for is for 3, and again we leave 3 itself alone, and we apply the rule. You remember the rule? Add the digits, and if it can be divided by 3, then the numbers can be divided by 3. Testing the numbers, you'll find that where the green crosses are, those numbers were divided by 3. The last thing to test is the 7. Unfortunately, as I said, there are no rule for 7. So the numbers that has not yet been crossed out, like the 11 and the 13 and the 17 and the 37 and the 49, all those you're going to have to test individually. And when you do that, the following numbers will be crossed out. All the numbers now that has not yet been crossed out, that is left in this block, they are prime numbers. You can test them, you can only divide them by itself or by 1. Remember these 5 rules, you're going to need them. Well, that's all for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.